Hey, it's JD with the Restaurant Grind. Today we have Max Lawhon, owner of Max's Neighborhood Sports Bar in downtown Memphis. It's been open since 2007. Let's learn a little bit about his story. You're listening to the Restaurant Grind, the podcast of small business restaurateurs. 23 years old, you started Max's, or I think I saw something about a Calhoun's. Is there a story there?
Yeah, so we opened up as Calhoun's, and it was that was the original name of G.E. Patterson.
Oh, cool.
Was Calhoun, so we just named it after the street. There's another restaurant in Knoxville, a chain, and they had the trademark to Calhoun's.
Yeah.
And being 23, I thought you could just get away with anything. You know, the whole ask for forgiveness mentality. And so we went ahead and named it Calhoun's anyways. And after about 3 months, they found us, and the cease and desist letter started, and so we just changed it to Max's. We just didn't want anybody to think that any of the ownership was moving out or anything like that. Yeah, I didn't really want my name on it. One of my favorite things is being anonymous in the bar, because when people say, "Oh, you're Max," well, they're not going to tell you what they really think, And I want to hear the criticisms, the negatives, how to improve, which that became kind of a challenge once
everybody knew.
Once they're, "Oh, well, you're the Max."
You're Max.
But yeah, it still worked out pretty good.
What led you to start Max's and your journey to restaurateur?
It's somewhat accidental, very unconventional. So I was over in Fayetteville, Arkansas. I graduated from the U of A, and I was living over there. I was working for FedEx. So I actually quit FedEx and moved to Memphis to open up Max's. So I did that, backwards from what most people do, right? In college, I always worked in logistics. There was a stint there at the end of college where I worked, a few months waiting tables. So I was green as green can be. What brought me over here was my sister. She owned like a purse and jewelry shop, makeup, floral, just like a gift shop. And it was just a few doors down from where we are right now. This was back in 2007. So the economy was booming. Everything was great. It was, the beginning of 2007, the good times. Looking back on it, not the best time to start a business, but hey, we had cheap beer, so it worked out. I come over, my partner, Brad Ziemba, still my partner. He worked in finance, and he didn't have time to deal with it or anything, but that was back. The neighborhood bar down there had burnt down. And,
was that Blue Monkey?
The Blue Monkey, that's right. And they took quite a while to reopen it, so everybody was itching for a bar, and it was 2007, like I said, condos going up everywhere. That came to a screeching halt, but at the time it was the next big place. So, sports bars, that was back when TVs were expensive. People didn't have three sitting in their house. Sports bars were a big thing. So neighborhood bar, sports bar, it just seemed to fit in that area. So, run the numbers, talk to Brad, just kind of put our vision down on paper, and just took the leap and went over there and opened up. And it's not what it is now. Back then, it was tiny. We've added on to the back. We've done some things to
maximize the space.
That's right. Back then, we opened up, and we had chips. We didn't have much for food. We had beer only. So it was financially, it was easier to start up when you're 23. And things were cheaper back then. Obviously,
much.
So trying to do that right now. There's just no way I could do it. So, I was kind of in the right place at the right time for that to happen. Banks were still just giving out money for nothing.
And to be next to a little place called the Arcade downtown is pretty nice.
Yeah, they bring in a few people.
Get
absolutely.
Your brand out there. And I know they're more touristy, but you talked about that neighborhood feel and that neighborhood bar. That's what it seems like it is. Like, it seems like it is nothing but regulars.
Absolutely. I'd say, if I had to put a number on it, 95% of the people walk there. They live around the corner. They're family. Everybody knows everybody. You hate to call it the cheers, but that's what it is. It's an extension of everybody's living room.
That's cool. So how long has it been now? Since 2007? 23?
New Year's Eve. That was our 16-year anniversary.
So what has changed the mindset going through 2008 crisis, going through COVID? Like, what has been your biggest shift in the restaurant?
When we opened up in 2007, it looked like things were just going to go. And then things went the opposite way. And so it was slim there for the first 3 or 4 years. I was young, I was green, didn't really, we opened up on about as tight a budget as you can get, which I would advise against for anybody looking to get into the business, listening to this right now. If you don't have the initial capital, you don't have that operating capital to last you 4, 5, 6 months.
Yeah.
Just don't do it. You're just going to be throwing good money after bad.
Because things just pop up that you have nothing, like no forbearance about, and like you're not even sure that you need to happen. And they're like, oh, this is going to cost this to do that. And having that working capital for a couple months is huge.
When we opened up, that was the Tigers when they went to the championship game.
Oh, nice.
If they wouldn't have had that run, I don't know if we would have made it.
Definitely your number 2 college.
I'd say so. Yeah, definitely. So, we got lucky a lot along the way, and you learn from that and try not to put yourself in that position again.
Correct.
I think that's just life in general, not just business. But other than that, we've always had great employees. Always had great employees. We have very low turnover, and we're a very small staff, which that can be good and bad. It's good in the sense that everybody knows everybody, and everybody's trying to help each other out. It's tough in the sense that it's hard to fill those gaps when you have 3 full-timers and 3 part-timers, or and kind of varies a little bit throughout the year, but can weigh on the rest of the staff. Yeah, absolutely.
But that turns into building that culture. You said it is a family and it's a neighborhood, so everybody, when you're working with them, if they have to take that time off for kids, for family, and they can't work, and you understanding that instead of just having that 3-strike system and kicking them out the door, that's what Imagine really builds that culture and keeps the people where you don't have that high turnover in other restaurants and bars.
Yeah, absolutely. Everybody, wants to help each other out, and so we've definitely been very blessed with that. Even through COVID. Yeah, I kept my entire staff. I mean, it's a small staff, right? Yeah. But, I was able to keep my staff through COVID. Even, when they shut down all the limited liability, we were in that group. So we even through that, both of my managers are still there. Been through there, 8 years now.
Wow,
9 years. So it's kind of nice, and like they say, it's just you rely on your staff. It makes my job easy. Looking back in the beginning of it, and just all the stress and the long nights and the long weeks and everything. And now it's just kind of, I don't want to micromanage you. You know what to do. You do it. You need any help, call me. I'll be Johnny on the spot.
Yeah.
But it's fun to see that growth.
The couple times I've been there, I've always loved the crawfish bowls that y'all do. How did that start?
We had a regular that came in there. He was from Homa, I believe. So he just said, hey, let's do a crawfish boil one day. We weren't even thinking about monetizing it, really. It was just, all right, well, I mean, we don't have anything going on next weekend. We have a big courtyard in the back. We said, I don't know, just bring your pot, bring your stuff, grab a sack, and let's fire it up. So we did it, and everybody just lost their mind. Oh my God, this is so good. And like, when are y'all going to do it again? I was like, I feel like I got to pay you now. And so he came back, he did it a couple more times, and then we let it. We didn't do it for a while. It was just kind of something fun to do. Again, I wasn't really thinking of it in the term of making money or and then hooked up with one of my good friends, Glaze Hardage.
Okay,
he does glazes crawfish. He cooks for a few places around the city, and he's been cooking for us for I don't know, it's probably 5 years or so now.
Okay,
and just absolutely knocks it out of the park.
Yeah,
does a great job with it, and so he'll come over and cater it. And do that, and we try to do it earlier than most other restaurants
in the season starting.
Right. So most places in Memphis won't be able to do it till I say March or so, and we'll try to do it if the season's right. Even starting as early as January, and we like to say that's just kind of the time when you've made it through the Memphis winter. Spring is right around the corner, and even there's a little chill in the air when we're doing it. That spicy smell of crawfish in the courtyard. It kind of gets everybody in the neighborhood geared up for warmer weather.
But right now, anything else top of mind for the past year getting out of COVID?
Just costs. in general. Just
The inflation of everything.
I mean, it's just everything. You know, most people they think about a restaurant and the only inputs they think of are cost of goods. But I mean, insurance. And, especially for liquor liability in a place like mine that sells more liquor than food. Oh boy, they wanted their share of fat on that one.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's that's expensive. Just all the overhead costs just raise so much, and you try to, we've always prided ourselves on being one of the lower
the neighborhood bar.
Yeah. We're not trying to charge Bill Street prices or hotel prices. We want you to come out and hang out with us 3-4 times a week.
Correct.
Can't do that if I'm selling you a $6 beer.
Yeah.
So we try to keep those costs low, but we also have to keep the doors open, right?
If you want to keep coming.
Yeah. So that was tough balancing everything out. Luckily, things have started to kind of come back down a little bit. So we're kind of seeing our margin get back to something more sustainable. So that's been nice. So I'd say overall, I feel like we're mostly out of the woods.
I always feel like I see a big influx in the seasonality in downtown. The winter times, of course, is really struggling, and then spring, everything's flourishing, everything's coming, and then summer. But is that kind of the same with you, but with the neighborhood and then Grizzlies? Like, how do you see tourists in downtown? There seems like it's back to 2007, more buildings going up, more things going on. Like, how do you feel about the downtown area right now?
Yeah, it's booming for sure.
Yeah.
The crime has ticked up a little bit. Luckily in South Main, it's we've seen our share of it, but it's not quite what it is in the core, other places downtown. I feel like we're a little bit more insulated, just kind of off the beaten path a little bit down there, which is nice. But as far as, we don't get a whole lot of tourists down there. We don't do a ton of advertising. We're just kind of more of an organic growth.
Yeah.
Which is nice because you get to grow with the neighborhood. You're not pushing anything. You're not trying to be trendy or anything like that. It's just you just grow with the influx of the residents that come in and kind of cater towards whatever they're feeling at the time.
Yeah, even if you're pushing that marketing, the new people are going to come on the busy times that you're already packed anyway. So that's
exactly
hard.
Right.
Yeah. So that's a good and bad problem to have.
Yeah. It's always nice when people come in like, oh man, there's no seats. Turn around and leave. Again, it's one of those times you wish you had a bigger spot. But.
Yeah, keeps the regulars happy and everything like that. We'll be right back.
This episode is sponsored by the Memphis Restaurant Association, the Mid-South's key advocate for restaurant owners, managers, and employees alike, promoting the best dining experiences Memphis has to offer.
Business owners, do you have a clear picture of where all your money is? Are your taxes getting taken care of on time? Clarity and consistency are key when it comes to getting the most out of your books. With detailed monthly financials and ongoing advisory services, Patrick Accounting is here to help you make more money and keep more of it. Learn more at patrickaccounting.com. So from University of Arkansas to here, I think I saw where you said entrepreneurism was the first thing you thought, and you didn't think you'd be in a restaurant. Are there any other plans for anything else, or do you do any other businesses?
I help out a little bit with my wife. She's got a cryo contour of Germantown. She opened that up a couple years ago, so I'm involved a little bit more in the back of that one.
Yeah.
She definitely does the majority of it, but I'll try to help out with that a little bit. Yeah, I've tried my hand at a few other businesses, and some of them are okay. Some of them not so much. I've done everything from pacifier manufacturing company to it's randomness for sure.
That's something I definitely need. I have a 7-month-old now, so
you understand? Yeah, baby products.
That's cool.
As far as restaurant though, like I said, it's something I never saw myself getting into, and I feel like the success of Max's is more reliant on the location, our regulars, the South Main area, than necessarily what I've done. I feel like I've just been able to kind of look over it and just kind of let the neighborhood guide where it goes. So yeah, I got it. Who knows how many times you need to put one of these in Midtown, or you need to put one in Collierville or whatever, and I just think it wouldn't work.
Yeah,
there's I don't feel like there's really anything specific that we do other than just have a good time with the neighborhood. And it's just it's that area is just such a specific place. The shotgun bar and the people walking and just everybody, just neighbors coming together. It's just it'd be hard to replicate that anywhere else I've ever been, I think.
And that's what makes it special. So, Max, it was great learning more about the neighborhood bar that you have. We really appreciate you being on the podcast.
Thank you very much. Had a blast, JD.
All right.
We hope you enjoyed this episode of the Restaurant Grind. If you did, please hit that subscribe button and leave us a rating on your podcast player. Doing so helps our stories inspire more people in their restaurant grind journeys. We'll see you next week.